Yo, Sanjay Uchiha here, people, bringing you my review on Dragon Ball Super Episode 106. Of course, before we get into it, be sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think about this review and the episode as well. But without further ado, let's get into it. So, Episode 106 actually went a lot better than I expected. Of course, if you've watched the episode, you know that it centers mainly around Universe 7 against the quote unquote invisible fighter who throughout this episode we find out to be two fighters from Universe 2. But the thing is, for an episode that I expected to be mainly Gohan and Piccolo centric, it was put together pretty damn well with involvement from other Universe 7 fighters such as Goku, Gohan, and probably the star of this episode, like arguably speaking, Tien Shinhan, of course. So the way it was put together was pretty damn well. I thought the execution of this episode really helped to pay off because, in comparison to say when Krillin was knocked off, by the end of this episode, Tien is the second fighter for Universe 7 that we see being knocked off, well, quote unquote, knocked off the stage. But his exit from the Tournament of Power it felt much more fulfilling compared to Krillin's. It felt like he did all that he could to help out in a situation, and even though he like Krillin dropped his guard at the last minute, it just worked better. I felt more emotionally satisfied, I guess, with Tien's exit when compared to Krillin. So let's get more in depth with this, of course. So the first thing I must say about this episode, apart from all that I've just said already, is that the art in this episode was definitely consistent throughout, with the exception, I think, towards the end where we had some shots of Goku and Vegeta. Like the character models seemed a bit off to me, but apart from that, I thought the art was pretty good. The pacing was pretty decent considering that it felt like we were building up with Gohan and Piccolo, but we slowly introduced other characters such as Tien, Goku, and Vegeta. We had a bit of Roshi in the beginning, but it just makes the episode feel really dynamic, very fluid. Of course, I really like that the episode really emphasizes the teamwork aspect that the Tournament of Power should be about for each universe. That was definitely good. It was definitely interesting to see Gohan and Piccolo figure out how the invisible fighters actually, how he knew their location throughout, and by Piccolo being the genius that he is, figures that the fighters are basically using their heat signatures to actually determine their location, which was pretty cool. Definitely like that. Of course, Tien, Goku, and Vegeta coming in, helping out, loving the teamwork aspect there. Um, like Piccolo definitely got the shorter end of the stick in this episode as he helps to defend Gohan from the invisible fighter. I definitely like that. It added a very nice touch of tension for this episode. I'm not gonna lie. Tien going in with the multi-form technique was pretty cool. Him using strategy there was pretty cool. Of course, Goku and Vegeta. What I didn't like about this episode was the fact that when they find out that the guy, because the setup is just this: we have the sniper from Universe 2 fires at his teammate who reflects the shots, and his teammate can basically send out these orbs that can actually help. He can see through all of them, the heat signatures. So that's basically the setup. But once Goku and Vegeta find out that he can reflect energy blasts, I'm sitting there, I'm watching him say, okay, so why not just combat him with physical attacks? That was my only gripe with the episode. It just didn't make any sense to me in terms of characterization, even though they were throwing rocks at him and all that, but probably just not to get close. But I thought they could have just instantly taken him out at that point. But whatever, it's a minor nitpick, I suppose. But yeah, the animation was pretty decent, I suppose, as well. Um, I really liked how things were strung together choreography wise, considering that the sniper used, like, in terms of how his blast rust setup is similar to the special beam cannon. So basically concentrated bursts of energy, which would basically mess up a lot of people in this tournament. So it was kind of interesting to see how they would approach him with care. And I like how the TN uses multiform to basically sniff out his location, well, basically approach him. Because the thing is, unlike Piccolo, nobody else on the team can really regenerate. So this, I thought the approach and execution of the episode was definitely necessary. Them using TN, and by the end we see that TN has him cornered, and Sniper basically rings out him. Well, he rings out TN, and TN uses the multiform to ring him out as well. So it kind of takes him with him by the end of this episode. So by the end, we have two members of Universe 7 out of the tournament. But the episode definitely works. I mean, I just love the fact that we have these episodes where things are like 90% logical in terms of the characters' actions, and every step they take definitely works. Um, Overall, the tournament hasn't really wowed me, but episodes like this made me feel good about actually investing my time in this tournament, honestly, after waiting, what, like 20 episodes after the arc started. So there's that. But yeah, let me know what you thought about the episode. I thought it was pretty decent. Execution was pretty good. Pacing and art was pretty consistent throughout. Definitely loving the teamwork aspect of the episode. It definitely sold it for me, involving other characters, which definitely a plus, because I felt Goku and Vegeta's presence, it didn't really take away from everybody else in the episode, like Gohan and Piccolo. Even though they didn't do much, every character in this that was involved in this episode from Universe 7 contributed, and that's definitely what makes episode one of the better episodes for me of this tournament. So guess we'll continue to see how this tournament proceeds. I'm looking forward to, well, I don't think any episode will be airing next week. So yeah. So that sucks. But yeah, let me know what you thought. Sanjay Uchiha, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, people.